listening to Heritage Church Online. I'm Mola.
And I'm Jerry.
Today we're going to be talking about Nebuchadnezzar's dream.
But that'll be after a time of worship.
You're watching Live 3 Kids.
Don't worry about anything, instead pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Don't worry, instead pray. Don't worry, instead pray. Don't worry about anything, instead pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Don't worry, instead pray. Don't worry, instead pray. If you do this, then His peace will guard your hearts and minds as you live in Christ Jesus. Don't worry, instead pray. Don't worry, instead pray. Instead pray. Instead pray.
We're still looking in the book of Daniel. Remember, the last time we talked about how Daniel and his friends and a group of other people were forcefully taken from Jerusalem to Babylon. While there, he and his friends were given high positions in the royal court of King Nebuchadnezzar because they were very, very wise. And then Daniel was given the additional ability to be able to interpret dreams and visions. Today starts with the story of King Nebuchadnezzar having a dream that frightened him and kept him awake at night. He wanted that dream interpreted so that he could understand what it meant. So what he did was to command for all his magicians, his sorcerers, Chaldeans, those are wise men, and astrologers to be gathered so that he would ask them what the meaning of the dream was. There was a bit of a twist though. He wanted them to tell him what the dream was first and then what the interpretation was. These people that he had gathered were aghast. How can? That has never happened before. And they said to him, "Tell us what the dream was, and then we will tell you what it means." And he said no, that he wanted them to tell him what his dream was and what it means. He was so angry that these wise people that he had gathered were asking that he should tell them what his dream was. And he said that, look, if you don't tell me what my dream was and the interpretation, that I would make sure that you are not alive anymore. That all the wise men in Babylon, not only will they not be alive, but their houses and everything they have were going to be knocked down and left in a pile of rubble. For anyone or whoever was able to say the dream and interpret it, he would give gifts, rewards, and great honor. And they said, but this has never happened. That no king or ruler or lord has never asked this type of a thing, because It's something that can't be done. That only the gods can do this type of a thing. And the gods don't live on earth with human beings. So King Nebi was furious, and he commanded that all the wise men should be gotten rid of. And that's what happened. They started to get rid of the wise men. And when they went to look for Daniel and his friends, Daniel asked what was going on. Why are they getting rid of the wise men? And why is it happening so quickly? And that soldier told him what had happened with King Nebi and the wise men. You know, Daniel and his friends weren't called to that meeting, but they were amongst the wise men, so they were going to get the same punishment. Anyway, so what Daniel did was that he went to King Nebuchadnezzar and asked King Nebuchadnezzar to give him some time so that he, Daniel, will tell him the dream and its interpretation. The king agreed to this, and Daniel went home and gathered his 3 friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Abednego, and said that let us pray and ask mercy from the God of heaven, so that God will tell them what the secret is, so that they would not be destroyed along with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. You know what? That very night, God revealed the secret to Daniel. Daniel was so happy. He was so happy that he praised God and thanked him for answering their prayers. And that's the end of the story.
Hey guys, how are you? Don't you love in that story the way Daniel and his friends, they prayed and they just kept on praying until God gave them the answer that they needed. He revealed the dream to them. And you might have heard sometimes people talk about pray until something happens, and it spells the word push, because sometimes in prayer it feels like we're having to push and push and push, but we keep on praying and then we receive the answer. And so you can see I've made this kind of fun mechanism here where we turn this pray, the girl's praying, and then whoop, heaven opens, she gets her answer, and there's this sort of glory cloud falling on her. Look, I've made another one here. This one on the front, it just says pray until, and then we pull the lever, woo, something happens and the sun comes out. So these are really fun to make, and they're a good way to remind us to be like Daniel and just keep on praying. And they do once again use what seems to be my new favourite thing, paper fastener or a split pin. So make sure you've got one of those. Now, the first thing you need is 2 pieces of cardboard, and these need to be about the same size as each other, one for the front piece and one for the back piece. Now, I was using cardboard box card, and then I realised I'd used it all up in my practices, so now I'm just using some normal card. The next thing you need to decide is how you want your mechanism to go. So this one, you can see I've just got the arrow at the side, and on this one, I've got it sticking down off the bottom. So if you just want it to come out at the side, just take your back piece of cardboard and slide it along so that it's here, and that will be where your arrow goes. That will be your kind of handle for turning. If you would like it to be a little bit that sticks off the bottom that you use as your handle, then all you need to do is take a 3rd piece of card. I've got that here, and we're just going to tape that on, or you could use glue. We're just going to tape that on to the back piece. There we are. Oops. And now that is going to be what we use. So I'll just draw an arrow on that, pointing around the way that we're going to want people to turn it. Now, in terms of your design, you can really come up with whatever you want. Obviously, I've got this one, which was just a hillside and the sun coming out. This one, which was the girl praying. And this one that I'm about to make, I'm just going to keep it really simple. And all I'm going to do, oops, got that the wrong way around. all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write along here, pray until something happens. And then on the back, for this bit, I'm going to have when it comes up, there's lots of like balloons and streamers so that it's kind of exciting. So we want it to spell out the word push. So I'm writing the first letter of each word nice and big so we can really see that word. Pray until something happens. So whatever design you have, make sure that you've got your keywords. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour this front section. I've just got a dark greyish black crayon because what I want it to be is the answers prayer section, the bit that comes up, I want that to be really like bright compared to the first bit, because sometimes the time when you're still praying and praying, like it was for Daniel and his friends, you know, when they were praying through the night, asking God to reveal that dream, that was a dark time for them. If they didn't get the answer, there was a risk that they were going to be put to death. So sometimes the prayer bit can feel quite hard. It can feel like a push. So there we are, pray until something happens. But then on this back section, I'm going to have it really bright, and I'm going to have some brightly coloured balloons. I'm not exactly sure how far up this will stick, so we'll just do a few. There we go. We'll make some strings coming down from them. And we'll do some streamers, just make it really bright and jolly. You can take longer over this. I took much longer over these practice ones. This one, I'm making it kind of quick. So there we go, we've got some kind of curly whirly streamers. And we've got, let's have a few little stars as well. Okay, so I've drawn in what is going to come up, and this is the something. This is the something that's going to happen. So here we are. You can see it's going to be like this, and then whoop, it's going to come up like that. Now the next question, or the final question, is where you want it to pivot from. Where are you going to put in your paper fastener? So for this one, because I made it quite long, I can have it coming up right in the middle like that. For this one, because it was shorter, I didn't want this one to be so long, the piece of cardboard at the back is shorter, and if I pivoted it in the middle, the bit that stuck up above would have ended up really short, so I've got that one happening at the side. But this one can be in the middle. Sure, I haven't stuck that handle down well enough. Let's just see if we can get that done a bit better. It keeps slipping off. There we go. Stick that on, that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top of here, and I'm just going to put it over a rubber. Now with cardboard, box cardboard, it's very easy to make the hole because it's sort of soft and corrugated. With this card, I needed to use that rubber underneath and stick the pencil through. And then I'll just put my paper fastener in, or split pin if that's what you call it, and we'll fold that over at the back. And now it should work. Pray until something happens. Woohoo! So you can see it's a really simple mechanism. There it is at the back, and it's really good fun, and you can make it any design that you want and just have some fun with this, but use it to remind you, like Daniel, keep on praying, keep on praying. God is hearing your prayers and he will answer. So next week we will be back with another craft all about Nebuchadnezzar's dream, and I will see you then. Bye!
King Nebuchadnezzar seemed like he got angry quite a bit.
That's right.
and it seemed as though he used to make big decisions while he was still angry.
I know, right? But how did he expect anyone to tell him what he actually dreamt before telling him what it meant?
He felt that it could be done. From the story, I feel like King Nebuchadnezzar thinks that everything he asks for can be done.
Good a thing that Daniel and his friends prayed to God and asked for the secret to be revealed. And God didn't even waste any time answering.
I know. God is a revealer of all secrets. He's powerful that way. That's it for this week.
Till next time, bye!